What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome back. Yates Cup Preview. I'm so excited to say those three words. I couldn't ramble on any longer. I had to get it out. Yates Cup Preview. Wade Zanketta, Connor O'Neill, and there's a ton of extra excitement in our voices today because it's Cup season, and we are going to be at the Yates Cup in Kingston, Ontario, at Richardson Stadium. The Queen's Gaels hosting the Western Mustangs for the Yates Cup, a storyline that we have seen before.
It's kind of surreal. I mean, the two of us grew up around Kingston, and the last Yates Cup we were physically at had Queens and Western and was staged at Richardson. Might have been 2009, but nonetheless, there is an OUA banner on the line this weekend in Kingston. And let's start with the visiting team, Western. They have been carried this year by their insane running game. And when I say insane, I'm talking about like 150 plus yards on the ground every single week, multiple touchdowns, regardless of who they're playing. And it's carried by two guys in particular, Keon Edwards and Trey Humes.
Keon Edwards, the leader in the nation, not just the OUA, in the nation in yards and yards per game. Not to mention that both of these backs, Trey Humes and Keon Edwards, are in the top 5 in touchdowns in the nation as well. So to say these guys are efficient would be an outrageous understatement. These guys are the foundation of this Western Mustangs team this year. And Evan Hillock, you've mentioned it. He's added another level to this Mustangs offense where now in the start of the season, they were having a bit of ups and downs with their passing game. But now as the season's progressed, Hillock has been hitting at an incredible pace, and he's been playing very efficiently for Western's offense.
And he finished last week with 173 yards through the air. His favorite target, Savon Magne-Jones. He has been up there in receiving this year. It's kind of a similar game plan where they're pounding the run game, and all of a sudden, Savon Magne-Jones over the top. It's such a good way to keep the defense honest, and Savon Magne-Jones is a great guy to do that with.
Yeah, he adds this kind of deep threat over the middle thing that they're able to do when you hammer the run game for so long. All of a sudden it's kind of, hey, we're going to lean in, kind of pull this one out, and look, Savon Magne-Jones is wide open down the seam because you're playing the run so hard. And that's what you have to do against Western. Like teams that get burned on these kind of Western PAs, it's not because they're out of position. It's just that they're so focused on the run because Western's so run heavy that when they do pull the ball and they hit Magne-Jones downfield, it's usually a home run or a big gainer.
And let's talk about the defense for Western, because Deontay Knight has kicked it up a notch in the last couple of weeks. He finished with 2 sacks, 3.5 TFLs. He is all over the backfield the last couple of weeks, and it is paying off because this Western secondary as well, they do not give you a lot of time or room to breathe in, and they make you pay.
Yeah, they do. So the pressure that Western's able to create with guys like Knight up front, because they are so pressure heavy, it allows that back end to just play free. And having a guy like Rory Kelly on your back end manning the middle, it allows your outside defenders to play that much more free because they know that they have a veteran coverage presence over top of them that is going to make the play if needed.
And let's move to the home team, Queens, the Gaels. First time in the big game since that 2009 game we talked about, and they're at home. The home crowd will be there. Hopefully it's a sellout at Richardson, but they've been carried by one man wearing the number 1 all season long, Rashid Tucker. He had 200 total yards, 2 touchdowns in that playoff game against Ottawa last week, and we're going to look for him and Queens to run the rock if they have a chance at taking home the Yates Cup.
Yeah, and if they are going to take home the Yates Cup, it will run through Rashid Tucker. He is the heartbeat of that offense. But let's not leave out James Keenan. We know what Rashid Tucker does. We know what Rashid Tucker is. He is the second leading rusher in the nation behind Keon Edwards. But James Keenan has been stellar for Queens this season. I mean, when you look at his box scores and his stats, they're not eye-popping. They're not jumping off the page to you. He's He's kind of in the middle of the pack when you look at quarterbacks in the nation. Like he's on that 15, 16, 17 spot. But what he does and what he does for the Queens offense is what's really impressive. When you clip that tape on, when you see what he's able to do, the presence he brings behind the pocket, he is very mobile back there. He gets out of the pocket when he's in trouble, and he's still able to create plays and use his arm to push that ball downfield. And he's effective with his arm. He doesn't do too much. He doesn't try to do too much. When he's asked to throw, he usually finds the open man. And last week, he hit a rookie wide receiver, Josh McLeod, for 2 touchdowns and 93 yards. What more do you need out of your starting quarterback when you have the type of run game that they're able to play with?
And when you look at the defense as well for Queens, I mean, it's kind of the same situation that you get from Western, but there's not as many big names. We have Anthony Federico and Thompson McCallum, and then you have a young rookie in Keegan Vanek. But all these guys contribute so much to their defense that they're able to suffocate people behind Coach Beckmanis and his multiple schemes. And when you get that combination, you get 2 teams matching up in the Yates Cup because it's a winning formula. And we will see how both of these teams fare next Saturday.
Yeah, we certainly will. That game, like we said, is going to be played in Kingston at Richardson Stadium. But if you can't be there, which is very unfortunate because I know it's going to be a great game. If you can't be there, you can absolutely check that one out on OUA.tv. All of the OUA games are on there, not just football. You can check out soccer, basketball, field hockey, volleyball's in full swing right now as well. A ton of OUA athletics on OUA.tv. You can check out your favorite team, your favorite sport, whatever you're into, it's on there.
And for Connor and I, at Connor R. O'Neill, at Wade Zank, at CF Perspective. Stay tuned because we're not quite done yet, OUA football fans. Let's get on to the Yates Cup.